I've noticed a lot of business owners treat their YouTube thumbnail as an afterthought, like, oh, yep, that's done. But if you're doing that, it is absolutely costing you leads. The difference between a good thumbnail and a great thumbnail is the difference between a video that sends you 1 to 2 leads or a video that sends you 50 leads a month. So I'm going to walk you through exactly what a good thumbnail for a business owner's channel should look like. And there's some really interesting information about what colors you should use on your thumbnail depending on your industry. And by the way, it's not just your brand colors. So the first big mistake that I see business owners make with their thumbnails is assuming that the strategy is to get the most clicks possible. But that can actually backfire. A thumbnail for entrepreneurs like us has 2 jobs: getting clicked and building trust. And so when we factor that in, our thumbnails need to be different than the ones that entertainment creators are making. But let me address something that comes up in almost every conversation I have with entrepreneurs about thumbnails, and that is the fear of being seen as clickbaity. Is that a word, clickbaity? I get it. We're not trying to be an influencer, right? But let me clear something up. Clickbait is when your title or thumbnail promises something that the video doesn't deliver. That's it. If your video gives the viewer what's on the title and the thumbnail, then that's not clickbait. That's what I like to call click-worthy. Now, you can decide to opt out of psychology-driven design like we're going to share in this video and keep your thumbnail super generic, but YouTube is a competitive place, and you're really going to struggle to get the views, the leads, and the sales that you want from your channel that make your channel worth even publishing on in the first place. Just to make sure you have the full context, they say that a thumbnail that gets 10% more clicks doesn't lead to 10% more views. 10% more clicks can lead to 400% more views. That is a massive return on effort, which is why thumbnails are worth investing a little time in. I have reviewed thousands of YouTube channels for entrepreneurs, and a lot of them have thumbnails that look kind of like this. It's all right, but this specific thumbnail is making a bunch of mistakes. Probably already see some, but I'll show you what each one is here in a second. The biggest channels on YouTube are entertainment-based channels, and we see on them getting all these millions of views and subscribers, and we think, okay, well, I'll do what they're doing. But let me show you why this backfires for us as business owners. Imagine getting 10,000 clicks on your video. Wow, huge win, right? Feels so good. But if the people clicking are the wrong audience, that's actually a failure that's going to hurt you, especially in the long run. YouTube is full of videos that have gotten hundreds of thousands of views and 0 leads and sales. Meanwhile, a video on one of those same channels could get 200 views, 15 warm leads, and $50,000 in closed revenue. So which one do we want? The second one, right? And it actually gets worse. If you attract the wrong people, you know what YouTube's gonna do? They're gonna go find more people just like that, because YouTube measures on clicks and views, not on actual sales that your business is getting. Obviously, I don't want to call out anybody's specific bad thumbnail, so I took the most common mistakes I see, and then I designed this thumbnail to emulate all of them so we can give it a makeover. The video this is based on is called Descript AI Video Editor: 8 Mind-Blowing Features. One of the most important things with YouTube thumbnails is to remember that they're not being seen the way they look on your computer monitor in HD, looking all fancy, right? Most of the time, they're showing up really small on a mobile device surrounded by other thumbnails. So first thing, as we said, they're viewing on a mobile device, way too much stuff. So what do we take off? Well, first of all, company logo. You never need a logo on your thumbnail. That basically says, this is a commercial, don't click on it, right? I mean, shopping channel aside, people generally don't turn on screens so that they can watch ads. So that is gone. Also, you don't need your name on the thumbnail. Your name is probably already on the channel name, and if it's not, you can say it in your video. We do not want to waste valuable space here with that. So again, gone. Now, I know we're running a business, we want to promote ourselves, so we sometimes like to put our website on there. No, first of all, nobody can see it. Second of all, it's not clickable, so again, gone. Now we're left with only 3 things, and that's the maximum you generally want on a thumbnail. So we have a face, we have a logo, and then we have the words. Next, I love having words on a thumbnail, but I generally want 4 or less. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words. It's too much. It takes up too much space on there. Somebody skimming in the YouTube app or the YouTube homepage is not going to take the time to read all of those. So we're going to cut that way down, and we're going to make it best AI video editor. So So we'll kind of leave it as a question in their heads, okay? Now, another thing with the color on here, obviously you're going to choose your own colors, but you want everything to be really high contrast. This is actually a trick I learned from my friend Kennedy, who does stage performances, and he said that if you put light colors on a dark background, because the words are white or a light color, they actually can be seen easier at small sizes or from great distances. So we're gonna go ahead and just make this white, just like that, all right? So that's gonna stand out way more. I actually wanna make this probably bigger as well, but we'll come back to that in a second, all right? Now let's look at the face that we have here. Faces, by the way, are really important on thumbnails. They work really well. You don't absolutely have to have it, but a couple of things. One, as a business owner, it lets them see you up front and starts to build that trust. Faces are what builds trust. But more than that, the human brain is designed to quickly notice faces. So that's why they're great on a crowded screen full of thumbnails. So we definitely want this to be much bigger, but we want to have some emotion in the face. So this face, I'm not really doing anything, right? We want to have some emotion because that makes the viewer also feel something. And when people feel something, they're more likely to remember it. And frankly, they're more likely to click. And yes, sometimes that means putting dumb, silly emotions on the thumbnail. Hey, it works. So I'm going to go into my branding photos and I'm going to look for one that really says mind-blowing features. There's definitely something in here that is better for that. Yes, like this one or this one. That one. Okay, that says it, right? So this plain photo is gone. Remove the background from that. We're going to delete this one and we're going to make this the face instead. Yes, I look like a dork, but that matches much better with mind-blowing AI features. Another thing we always want our thumbnail to have is something that makes somebody go, oh, this might be for me. So in this case, we have Best AI Video Editor. So anyone interested in AI or video editing is going to know it's for them. We do have this logo over here with Descript, which is the tool that I showed in this particular video. But since I'm saying Best AI Video Editor, I don't know that we necessarily need that. But if we look at my channel, you'll see I use the YouTube logo on my videos quite a bit because anyone thinking about YouTube will recognize that logo. So it could be a logo, could be an icon, or as I said, it could just simply go in the words that you have on the screen. So to wrap this up, I'm gonna probably put this down at the bottom. I'm gonna make it as big as it will fit, and then I will raise my face up like that. And now this is a much stronger thumbnail than what we started off with before, and actually, pretty close to this, which is the actual thumbnail for this video. It's gotten over 75,000 views and has a click-through rate above 12%. Now, before we talk about what colors will actually build trust for you and stand out for your specific industry, I just want to mention that thumbnail design is part science, part art. So I've sort of showed you the science part, like the stuff that you can think about, but don't be afraid to experiment. This thumbnail has way too many words, way too many elements, yet it has just as high a click-through rate as the other one. Now, deciding the specifics of what go in your thumbnail can be tricky when you first start. That's why in our YT90 Growth Lab program, we built an app to give them really good thumbnail ideas. But one thing to know is the colors that you should use. And by the way, it's not your brand colors. Using specific colors can actually attract the right people and build trust faster. Now, there's not one trust-building color for everybody. In fact, it varies by your specific industry. So I want to share what these are. Fortunately, billion-dollar corporations have spent probably millions of dollars researching this, and we get to benefit from what they found out. First, navy, deep teal, or royal blue are considered great for building trust and authority. Blue is considered the most universally safe color for businesses because it signals long-term value and not just a quick fix. So this is great if you are in the B2B space, finance, or if you do any sort of consulting. Now, bright yellow and orange are great if you want to express energy and attention. Yellow is actually the first color that the eye processes, so it's great. We could all use it on our thumbnails if we wanted to point out or circle a certain section to emphasize. Now, purple, magenta, and bright cyan express that you are modern and forward-thinking. It actually signals to people that your advice is current, so this is great if you're in tech or AI or anything that changes all the time. And red expresses urgency. This is kind of like yellow. It's not one that you would want to use all the time, but it's great if you're making a stop doing this or a mistake-focused video. Now, another question I get a lot from people is which settings actually matter when you go to upload your video and your thumbnail. There are so many now. Click the video on the screen and I'll walk you through which ones are important and which ones you can completely ignore the next time you upload a video.